Hi, everyone. Thank you all for tuning back in to another episode of Bubbly Banter Podcast. I am your host, Sierra Mendoza, and I know a lot of y'all probably weren't prepared for me to have another episode come out this week. I went ahead and posted on Snapchat saying that I probably wasn't going to have episode 10 air this week just because I got pretty sick over the weekend and I'm not really sure what I came down with, but I kid you not, y'all. I felt like I was on my deathbed. I was like, you know what? This is it. This is the end for Bubbly Banter Podcast. No, I'm just kidding. I'm being dramatic, but I really was I was down pretty bad. And I was just like, you know what? I don't think I have what it takes to literally record, edit, all of the shabam, like I literally was just like, dang, I have nothing prepared. I don't have an idea in the world of what I want to talk about in today's episode. And I'm just not feeling on top of the world. So I was like, yeah, let me make a post real quick that I might have to delay episode 10. But you know what? I'm feeling much better today. I ended up missing work Monday and Tuesday. I was laying in bed literally 2 of those 3 days. Okay, basically, y'all, I got sick on Trevor's birthday, which sucks. And I'm still kind of trying to recover, so sorry if I sound like an old man. But I got sick on the night that we were literally going out with some of our church friends, and we were just gonna go to Marty B's, which is this like really dope barbecue place in the DFW area. And if you haven't gone, you really got to check it out. It's so cute. They have like fire pits, they have a patio with like 2 floors. You can sit on the rooftop. They have a disco ball with a live band that plays on stage. It's so fun. And I told Trevor, I was like, honestly, once I'm feeling 100, we will definitely go back. I just felt, oh gosh, you guys, I felt like crap because we literally went and like right as I was doing my makeup and putting my outfit on, I was like, babe, I'm not really feeling too good. Like, I'm freezing. And I went and grabbed my jacket, and he was like, what? Like, why are you wearing your jacket? And I was like, I'm freezing. And he was like, you're getting sick. We'll cancel. And I was just like, no, no, no. Like, we're going to do this. I'm good. Like, I am solid, and nothing is going to tear me down. And, yeah, no. Basically, I ended up getting pretty sick that night, and we had to call it short. Trevor got to eat some s'mores out by the fire, but other than that, I was definitely down for the count. We came home, y'all. Okay, trigger warning if you have unsettling tummies, but I threw up. I literally had 1 jalapeno popper, came home, threw that up, and literally had nothing else to eat for 2 days to follow. So I lost 5 pounds in the span of those 2 days, and my body broke out in hives, like hives and rashes from neck to toe. It was the weirdest thing. I got a fever of 102.3, and I was just like shivering so cold to the point where like I was chattering my teeth together, and Trevor had to like sit down next to me, and he was just like, babe, calm down, like you're good, let's focus on our breathing. And then finally, like, the whole house was like, dude, like, you've got to go to the hospital. We don't know what's going on with you. So he took me to an urgent care, and they tested me for like strep, COVID, flu, and it was literally none of those things. And then they were just like, well, let's go ahead and just give you a steroid shot. So y'all, I got a steroid shot in my booty, and it hurt. Okay, listen, I'm just not that strong. And I literally was telling Trevor, I was like, man, when I was a kid, I remember one time they had to give me a shot in the butt, and I will never do that again. And I literally laughed so hard because I was like, what are the freaking chances? Like, I've only ever had to get 1 injection in my freaking butt, and that was when I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure it was like for chicken pox or something. And then here I am having to get another injection again. So I was like, whatever. It was fine. I did good. And then they gave me some antibiotics. So I'm staying on top of those. I'm keeping an eye on my rashes. Like, they're gone for the most part, but like my legs are still, they're a little rough. So anyways, I went to Instagram, and I was just like, y'all, like, I feel like I do gotta post something. Like, I've got what it takes. I got the energy. I got my water next to me. I'm keeping hydrated. I'm trying to keep food down. I've got what it takes to record something. So like, let's get something out there. And I went to Instagram and I was just like, what do y'all guys want to hear? I'm not gonna lie, it's been crickets lately, and that's fine. I mean, this is really like, these are the early on episodes of my podcast. I understand people are gonna come, people are gonna go, and the people that do listen and interact with me, y'all are real ones. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being so loyal and for coming back every single week. So, yeah, and then if you're new here, hi, hello. I hope you hit that follow, like, subscribe button. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you hit the post notification button so that way you're always notified whenever I post. This podcast, by the way, if you're new here, this podcast is just all over the place. It's kind of more for like background entertainment at this point, I feel like, and I'm very content with that because my favorite podcasts that I listen to are background noises, and then like occasionally I'll tune in. I'll be like, dang, they're funny. I feel like these are my besties. I feel like I'm just chilling with these girls or guys or whatever, you know? So I think I've kindly come to a conclusion that my podcast is definitely background noise, entertainment, because every single episode is something different. So like next week, y'all are going to hear me talk about anime because I'm about to finish Naruto and I'm about to be torn in pieces. So yeah, and if you don't watch anime, that episode probably won't pertain to you. Or, you know, if you do watch anime, hey, there's going to be spoilers, so maybe don't listen until you finish Naruto for yourself. But anyways, back to what I was saying is I went to Instagram and I asked, you know, like, what would y'all like to hear in this week's episode? Thank you to Aracilla, who swiped up and said that I should write a letter to Little Sierra, because honestly, I have been hearing people do that, like on TikTok and on like even one of my favorite podcast shows, Odd Advice. They recently did an episode about that not too long ago, and it was really cute. And when she swiped up and was like, hey, why don't you do this? I was just like, okay, stop, because that's seriously so cute. Like, I will do that. And so today at work, we actually got done pretty early. So I was like, you know what? I don't gotta leave till 5. It's 3 o'clock. I'm gonna write myself a letter. So, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna dive into it. This is kind of more of a serious episode, so sorry if you were hoping for all the hee ha-has and jaws, but, yeah. Here's a little dive into a letter that I wrote today for my younger self, and I hope y'all like it. So, it's going to go ahead and start off like this. So I'm going to start from the time that I remember being most young. I remember you loving to be around your older brother and aunt, even though they teased you and didn't let you play with them. You're now 26, and you actually grew up super close to them both. There were so many laughs and so many times you got in trouble together. You're not as close anymore, but only because we're all living our own lives with our new families that we have built and created. We all love each other so much, but I just thought you'd like to know. You may have cried when Matthew was born because you really wanted a little sister, but you know deep down you would never let anything happen to him because not only is he your little brother, but he is also your best friend, and you even see him like your own son in a way. You were always such a daddy's girl, but you've grown to be very independent. Well, minus the fact that you're always leaning on Trevor as your partner. You're probably wondering who Trevor is, right? Well, that answers your question as to whether or not we ended up marrying our childhood crush. The answer is no. We actually found out that we wouldn't be meeting the love of our life until we were 24 years old. We're now planning our elopement together and where we would love to have our honeymoon. All of the tears you cried from the age of 13 to 18 did go away. No, it wasn't the end of the world. Yes, you got better. Yes, you healed from that relationship. And yes, you found someone that values you more than you could ever imagine. You received the love that you prayed for since you were probably 9 years old. Speaking of prayers, you gave up on God a lot growing up because you had to deal with struggles of being a child of divorce and even living in separate households from your own siblings. It was hard. It was okay to cry and be mad and hold a grudge against your parents, because you also learned how to forgive them, and as you got older and entered your adulthood, you too learned that they are only human, and even if they didn't work out, that doesn't mean that it was your fault. Marriage is hard, but you will soon be able to say that you understand what that can be like from time to time. You have always been someone that had a smile on your face, even if you may not have wanted to. But it was so that no one would worry and so that you could always be someone that people ran to in their times of needs, especially if it was when they needed a friendly face. You still are that way, and you try to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, but you're still learning what it means to allow yourself to not always be put together for the sake of others. You had a very large friend group growing up. You got along great with everyone. You were always such an extrovert, and you were always involved in any and as many school activities that you could possibly physically handle. Now that you're 26 and actually have 3 really good friends, and most nights after work, you like to go straight home and spend time with your 2 dogs and your soon to be fiance, which is exactly how you would prefer it these days. Y'all like to eat dinner together and watch a good anime on the couch to end the night. And when you're not doing that, it's typically because you're recording your podcast, which just so happens to be your newer hobby. And yes, it does take up a lot of your time. But you've always enjoyed being busy, so that's nothing new to you. Growing up, you always allowed yourself to be walked on all over because you're a people pleaser. This is something that we are working on together, even to this day. It's not easy, but it's also not the way that we want to live from now on. So I'm going to take the lead on this one and put my foot down more when need be, okay? Career-wise, you are always a dreamer and wanted to be on Broadway or an actress in movies one day. We auditioned for an agency, believe it or not, and we actually got a call back. But honestly, it seemed like a scam, so we just didn't end up taking it. Not that acting isn't still a passion, it's just not an active one. We like to watch musicals and movies like The Greatest Showman and La La Land, but we don't really have that same desire to be on stage or behind a camera for a role anymore. Right now, we are in dentistry, and we have been doing that for 6 years. This isn't our forever goal, but we are still figuring it out. To my younger self, throughout the ages, you would be so incredibly proud of the person you have become. You are still so kind, so friendly, so strong, so dependable, and your faith in God is blossoming more than we could have ever hoped for. We are happy. We are healthy. Oh, and did I mention we can also hear? Remember when Eric would ask the church to pray over our left ear, and so many people did for years to follow? God answered those prayers, and we are able to hear thanks to our hearing aid. You really love to hear the birds chirp, and you really hate to hear engines on the highway rev up. Your life is a good one, so don't ever give up. Love, Current Sierra. You guys, when I wrote that, I was like tearing up, and I'm actually shocked that I didn't cry reading it now. Thank you, Aracilla, for telling me to write myself a letter, because honestly, I think a part of me needed that. Like, I needed to heal a part of myself that I didn't realize still needed that closure, in a sense, and hopefully that makes sense. It was really refreshing to write that, and honestly, if y'all haven't written a letter to yourselves, I strongly encourage you that you do it too, because there was just like so much, I don't even know what the word is, but like there was a lot going on in my head today, and I truly believe that God sent Aracilla to me today, in that sense of, hey, why don't you be kinder to yourself? Why don't you show your old self that you actually have grown? Like, you know, you're doing much better than you give yourself credit for. And you're like you're doing more than you expected yourself to, along with like your career. Honestly, as a kid, I didn't ever have a backup career, you guys. Like, I only thought of like, oh, I'm going to be an actress. From a very, very early age, even whenever I didn't get my foot in the door to actually like partake in acting, I would just like act in my bedroom. And literally my parents don't even know that, because it was just so embarrassing to me to admit. I'd be like, no, like no one needs to know that I like to act and pretend and like pretend I'm not Sierra behind closed doors. And like, I think I was doing that ever since I was like 8 years old. I just loved it so much. So like behind closed doors, I would always just like act, put on a show, have my own little play. And I think those are still things that like even to now, like I would love to go to New York and see Wicked on Broadway, you know? I would love to go and like sit down one day and watch, like, I don't even know if TV shows even do this anymore, but like, you know how like Friends they used to have actual audiences. I want to do that one day. Like, those are like new goals for myself. Like, that industry out there, it still entertains the heck out of me, but it's just like not something that I would see myself doing anymore as an actual career. I mean, I'm still trying to figure it out, y'all. Like, if anything, if I could really truly have a career take off and it's not my current career, it would be my podcast, because I genuinely enjoy sitting behind this microphone every single week. And like, it's funny because every single week too, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have nothing to talk about. And then the moment I click record, I don't know how to shut up. I don't. And so I don't know. And I think, thank you, Aracilla, because I really think that's something I needed to hear. And just like do for myself. It was really a pick me up too. It was such a pick me up because I've been so Debbie Downer lately, and I've just been like in a blah mood, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling my podcast. I'm not feeling my job. I'm not feeling my career. I'm not feeling myself. Like, no, like you're beautiful. You are strong. You are kind. You are loved. Don't ever forget those things, people. Ever, ever, ever. Look in a mirror if you have to and tell yourself that every single day. You are beautiful. You are kind. You are loved. You are strong. And we have a very heavenly Father that is never, ever going to give up on us. So, this episode's honestly going to be kind of short. I'm not even going to lie. I don't have anything else really because y'all, like, keep in mind, I am still fighting whatever I was sick from. My throat does still hurt, but I was like, no, I want to put something out today. So I'm going to look up, am I the a-hole? I'm going to look one up real quick. We'll go ahead and go over it. You guys, I really want to find one where I am just like, you know what? You are the a-hole. Because I feel like every single episode, I'm just like, no, you're not. And I'm like, God, this is boring. Like, I want to have a debate. Like, but no, yes, you are. Yes, you are the a-hole. Because, like, why'd you do that? So, let me see. I'm going to go to, like, my saved album. And I'm going to just, like, find a juicy one. There was also this one that was, like, there's just, like, confessions. And I'm just like, ooh, I want to read confessions, too. But I'm like, how do I bounce off of that? Like, how do you bounce off of a confession? You just read it and you're like, all right, cool. I'm gonna head out. That's how I feel like reading a confession is just like, I just like sat through something I wasn't supposed to read, obviously. And then I feel like that SpongeBob meme where it's like, I'm gonna head out. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, while I'm scrolling looking for one though, y'all, like, can y'all believe Easter is this Sunday? Happy Easter, y'all. Like, seriously, happy Easter. Like, God is risen. God is good. Don't forget the reason for this season. Seriously. Seriously. Like, I know some of y'all are probably going to be up in church this weekend, and this is like the only time of the year y'all go other than Christmas. No hate. But you know what? I hope y'all have like a seriously good session. Like, I hope y'all like leave feeling better than when y'all walk through that door. I hope that if y'all left with y'all's like, I hope if y'all entered with y'all's heads down, y'all left with y'all's heads up, y'all left in higher spirits. Like, I just really hope this Easter y'all truly embrace in the Lord and his word, and y'all just like hold on to something so precious, and it just brings y'all back next Sunday. I really do. I'm so excited to go to church this Sunday, y'all. I love it. I cannot wait. All right, y'all. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, you know what? Some of these I'm also like, did I already say them? Y'all, I hate that my memory is so bad. I hate it. Because I'm like, ooh, this one looks good. But then I'm like, but wait, did I already read that? No, I don't think I did. So I'm gonna read this one, and like, if I already read this one, y'all can call me out. I do not care. Call me out. Put me in my place. Be like, girl, you already read this one. Oh my God, can you believe it? Can you believe we don't have a jacuzzi? I don't know. Oh my gosh, Kanye has been living in my head rent-free today, y'all. It happens every so often. That man just pops up, and I always say that. It's like a random little thing. Can you believe we just don't have a jacuzzi? I don't know why. I love that meme. God, dude. Kanye is my spirit animal. He's so funny. He's so funny. Okay, let's jump right in, y'all. Am I the a-hole for rolling my eyes at my boyfriend's proposal because it took 25 years of me begging? Bro, wait. But like, I feel like I read this one. Nah, hold up. I feel like I read this one. We're gonna go to another one. Ugh. Honest titles? What are these? Y'all, I think I just found a whole nother chain on like Reddit. Okay, let's see it. Let's see it. I love how I just keep repeating words so I don't have dead silence, but I forget I can edit my own podcast. That's hilarious. I'm gonna stop talking now. Y'all, I also forgot I have like an Instagram saved folder too. So like let me switch over to my Insta account and we'll find one there. Let's see. Okay. So this one says, am I the a-hole for telling my sister it was her fault our parents were cold to her after she accused my mom of cheating? Ooh. So my parents have a pretty atypical relationship style, but it works for them. They don't hug or kiss, and they have a pretty calm marriage. My younger sister is in college, and she came home with some really weird ideas. She told me and our parents that she wanted to present something she did in class. I didn't want to see it, but my mom was excited and supportive. So we gathered in the living room, and she pulls out a slideshow, which ended with "Mom's a cheating whore." Oh my girl, that's your mother. Okay. Mom's confused and heartbroken. Dad's yelling at my sister, and my mind is just blanking. She presents her evidence, a really blurry pic of mom in her car with a guy wearing a baseball cap. She also said that mom's put in time to look good. Okay, she's getting flowers, and she went through the trash to find out that mom had thrown out some incriminating stuff. Well, she wasn't Sherlock Holmes. The guy in the car with mom was my dad. They're just having a fun time because we're not kids who live at home anymore. Now, my sister is complaining that our parents are acting cold, especially dad. He had never been cold to her. Mom forgave her pretty quickly, but dad's really mad for disrespecting his wife and our mom. She said that she was looking out for dad, and it wasn't fair that he was being mean and distant. I told her it was her fault. She started crying. My family found out about her stunt because my sister was going to send it to them, and some of them said I was the a-hole because she did it out of love. Am I the a-hole? Dang it, y'all. I really so want an episode where I'm just like, yes, you are. Yes, you are the a-hole. But no, like, how are you the a-hole in that? Like, your sister's the one that, like, called your mom a whore. I mean, what? Like, if that were my mom, she would be like beating my butt. Like, literally, kid y'all not. If I even said one bad word to my mom, and I'm 26, y'all. I am Hispanic on top of that. So if I said, like, mom, you're out there being, I'm not even going to say it in that text of it being my mother because I'm like, no, I could never. So, yeah, I would have been 6 feet under. There's no way. I would have moved countries, changed my name. I would not be Sierra. I would be Sienna. I would, like, have a whole identity, like, crisis going on. I'd be like, yeah, no, I gotta leave. I gotta get out of here. Like that episode of SpongeBob. I've gotta get out of here. Too late. No, but seriously, y'all, like, no, like, the sister's not the a-hole. If anyone, it's the daughter, because, like, she also didn't have to call her mom out in a presentation like that. She could have just sat her aside and be like, hey, mom, so, like, what's this I'm finding? Like, if you're having an affair on dad, you need to come out clean, like, own up to that. But she went about it so immature. She really said, I ate. She really said, here's this on a platter. And then it got tossed in her face. I was like, oh girl, no. Honestly though, like, I'm kind of shocked the mom forgave her so quickly and the dad was like, yeah, no, like, we're not cool right now. I mean, because maybe, like, if anything, it also embarrassed the dad. Because, like, what if the mom was having an affair? And, like, instead of telling the dad nonchalantly, you made it, like, a whole family orientation kind of thing. Like, you put it out there and you were just like, hey family, time to meet up and let me just dump some trauma on everyone. Like, what? Like, sis just really thought she ate with that. I don't know. I think if I was the dad, I'd be pretty upset too, because I'd be like, how are you gonna try and, like, yes, you're calling out your mom and, like, in the best of hopes of looking out for me, but at the same time you're making me look bad because, like, are you just gonna make me look like a clown in front of everyone? But anyways, y'all, like, that was crazy. I don't know. Yeah, definitely not the a-hole in my opinion. One of these days, guys. One of these days, we're gonna get an a-hole. We are. Alrighty, y'all. Sorry this episode was so short. My throat is starting to hurt, but I love you all. I am so excited to hang out with y'all in the next one. I cannot wait. And again, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, comment, leave a 5-star review. And if y'all would like to get more personal with me, email me at bubblybanterpod@gmail.com. Love y'all. Have a great night. Bye.